Alright, class. So you saw the my last lecture. We were talking about the Yalu River, how close the border is with China, and the ability of the Chinese troops to just cross it. And now I just kind of want to talk about the Korean War and some really devastating aspects of it. We're talking about total war, so atrocities run on both sides. I don't know who could win the propaganda war if you wanted to talk about who did worse or what, but needless to say that coming out of World War II, I mean, just keep in mind that the Japanese were extremely brutal, and they met the United States putting nuclear bombs on civilian populations. The Allied forces carpet bombed Dresden in Germany. I mean, literally, like, just carpet bombed civilian sites like crazy. I would say at the end of World War II, the concept of total war was set. And so, by 1952, about everything from North to Central Korea was completely leveled. Many North Koreans survived living in caves. And this kind of puts into context a lot of the paranoia of the North. I mean, in the New York Times article of 1953 said that the U.S. bombing of Kusong and Toksan dams actually bombed dams and destroying food crops. And so that is the context of the way that the Korean Civil War, the level in which fighting was taking place. So a significant character in this battle was General Douglas MacArthur. Posthumously, he said, or it was recorded that he said, "I would have dropped 30 to 50 atomic bombs strung across the neck of Manchuria." And that was a problem. One of my professors at UC Santa Cruz, when he was Asian history class, excuse me, talked about how he had to be held back, that he was willing to do such things. I mean, he really was. He also wanted to add 500,000 nationalist troops at the Yalu, and then spread, quoting him, "then spread behind us, from the Sea of Japan to the Yellow Sea, a belt of radioactive cobalt. My plan was a cinch." So he basically wanted to make a wall of radiation along the Yalu. And keep in mind that one 400-ton cobalt H-bomb would wipe out all animal life on Earth. I mean, during his the war, MacArthur requested 38 atomic bombs. He was denied his request, fortunately. President Truman saw him as kind of reckless, and had him removed for insubordination, and his compelling to attack China and his atomic policy visions. He was simply, I mean, he's a war hero, and he was very popular, but at the same time, you can see why it was good for Truman to kind of rein him in. So the war became an unresolved conflict. It dragged on in deadlock until 1953 of July. There was an armistice, temporary truce, which is what we were left with, and well over 2 million dead. 2 million dead in the Korean Civil War. Then the war never ended, and Korea remains divided. So I kind of want you to think about, when we talk about Korea, the North and the South, and how crazy the North is, and blah blah blah. I'm not saying that there's not issues with the North. Just you need to really kind of have some sympathy, or like when you think about the condition that Korea still faces from all the way left over from this time period that was not of their control, of Korean people, trapped under Japanese colonization, and then superpower struggles between the Russians, the United States, and the international community. Okay, I'm going to end this part right here.